Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. We're going to do one cast today. I'm up here with Jackson. I'm about halfway between the Narrows and Lookout, fishing the bluff bank and fishing I'm not. There's a Mr. Dixon that sent me some flies that he had tied, and I forgot the piece of paper with the names on them, but I'm fishing the one with the posts and the abdomen that sticks below the surface. I've been fishing it for about, ooh, there's a rise right there. Fishing it about 30 minutes or so. I've had one take, which I missed. Not a whole lot of activity, but I just had one come up right there. So I just threw at it. See if I get another hit. I'd hooked one earlier after he came up along the bank, and he shook his head about 2 or 3 times and he was gone. But I'm just now getting up to the area that I like the best, where the bank's a lot steeper. There's bigger rocks along the bank, and those fish can really get in there and hug that surf, hug and there he is. As soon as it landed, he hit it. It's a good rainbow. All right. Don't like all this line out. Ooh, he just about caught me off guard. I'd like to have him on the reel. From here down, there's some good spots, but a lot of it is it's pretty shallow up towards the bank, and there's actually a fair amount of pondweed and some other algae in the water, and that doesn't do very well when you're throwing dries. Doesn't work. But from here up, you can tell the bank is a lot steeper when you got those big rocks along the bank. Man, there's nothing wrong with the oxygen in the water this morning. I'll go down and get the net here in a second. You just give up. He's not huge. He's just fighting like he is. Okay, buddy. He's long. He's not as beefy as a lot of the fish that we've been catching. Oh, that's, there we go. Go. Oh yeah. I'll have to take a picture of this fly and show you too, but I really like it. With that post on the top, that's where you put your dubbing, and everything else hangs below the surface. I like it. I've got 4X tippet down to it. Its head's tight on a 10 or 12 hook. Just put a little bit of floating on your finger and put it on the post. And I usually put it on the line. I don't put it right up to the fly, but I'll start about an inch or two away and just kind of grease that line a little bit. All right. I could quit and go home, be happy. A lot of boats out today. I see a lot of guys here for the tournament that are fishing this morning. Reports I got coming up was pretty slow. The sun's out bright and there's no wind at all. So if you're in that sun, I know Brett Rader's down here fishing Loamy. Well, he's above the Narrows. I've seen him boat several fish, and he's fishing out in the sun. So he's got his own line of flies that he's developed that he sells and uses on his trips. They're very unique and very good flies. I like these spots, of course, under the trees where the trees hang out over the water. I've seen one here a minute ago. There's a squirrel eating some acorns. They're just now starting to fall a little bit, the green ones. And there were pieces of them falling in the water. I just wonder if fish are chomping on those pieces of acorn as they sink down to the bottom. You never know. Well, they're coming up out here in the middle of the lake. I've never done any good fishing dries out in the middle like that. I really like hitting these spots where the trees are just right over the top of the water. I'll stay here for a second and then I'll jump to the next tree. But I'm always looking, trying to use my peripheral vision and watch up and down for a rise. That's why sometimes I'll miss that bite, because I'm looking. Trying to look ahead a little bit, see where I might cast next. He took that fly, it was about 3 foot off the bank, I'd say, pretty close. It's just a little bit too close. Pull it out a little bit off the bank. Here's another tree. A lot of times I'll start throwing 7, 8 foot off the bank, and then I'll throw a little closer, and then I'll throw right on the bank in these spots. You don't want to throw right to the bank because you're throwing over the top of fish maybe that are holding off the bank a little bit. So you just kind of start out from the bank and then kind of work in a good spot that you want to cover. There he is. I moved it a little bit before he took it. It's about the same size fish, or maybe a tiny bit bigger. Yeah, I think he's bigger. A little longer. Cool. 3 takes, 2 fish. I like your fly. The fish like your fly. And it's not early in the morning. It's 9:40. I got up and played basketball this morning, first time in maybe a couple months. Small group. Nobody wants to get out and catch anything, I think. But when you play with small numbers, that means you got to move all the time, so it's actually harder. Can't go over in the corner and hide. When you get tired, it's a pretty heavy fish, so I really can't horse him too much. Boy, he's pretty. Well, 14 minutes in, I got 2 fish. Okay, buddy, come on in. Nope. I do have an oxygen meter. I might just go ahead and take a reading. I'm curious to know what it is. It's been running about between in the upper 5s to low 6s. Yeah, he is quite a bit bigger. You're pointing down. I'm gonna bring him in the boat for a second. Come on. Yeah, he's over 20. He's 21 inches. Cool. I kind of had a feeling he was. He's not super heavy. I want to keep him in the water as much as I can. Took the hook right in the hard part of the jaw. Oh, came out. I bent the hook a little bit. I'm gonna hold him above the net. That's nice. Nice rainbow, and he's good and strong. I'd say about 21 inches on the dry. Awesome. He's I like this. I like the dry, and I like the fact that I could pull it out and dry it out, put a little dubbing on it, and or not dubbing, floating on it, and it floats really good. I like to dry that stuff out before I put, and I'm just using this Loon Aqua, whatever. No reason to change, although he sent me several. Dries I'd like to try sometime. Oh, he's texting me. Yeah, Jeremy Hunt just answering a question for me. If you ever want to go down to the White River and fish, Jeremy Hunt is a good guide. He's a good friend. Tends to talk a lot, but a lot of good guides that talk a lot are good guides. I'm starting to get a little pondweed. Oh, I spooked one. There was one sitting right on the surface, and my fly line, just like I said, I threw a little bit past him, and my fly line landed close to him, and he spooked. I just wonder if he's still in the vicinity. I mean, he didn't really bolt, but I'll just throw here a couple times and see. When they're sitting that close to the surface, they're hunting. They're hunting for something close in the film or on the surface. So they're sitting there waiting for something to drop. Spend a minute here. I mean, he was a long way off the bank, probably 15 feet. But then you got a lot of pondweed, a lot of vegetation in close to the bank, so he's only about 6 or 8 feet away from all that stuff. I'm going to move along. I usually like to cover a lot of water, but I think the best thing to do is just take your time. I mean, I don't have all morning, but just take your time and hit spots that look good. And if you notice, I'm leaving it in the water longer than I normally do, and especially when the water's running. I'm going to check my felt loose. Especially in running water, you can't leave it in the water very long at all because the current pulls it out. But when the water's not running, you can really take your time and hit spots and just kind of let it sit there a minute. Although that first fish I caught, he hit it as soon as it landed. The second fish, it was there 3 or 4 seconds before he took it. Blake took Nathan Ollerjack out. Nathan, who works for us, and a friend of his, they went fishing last night. Fished up here. They said the fish really didn't start biting until about 11, so they stayed out until about 1:30. And they had 3 over 20 inches. All 3 are rainbows. I think they had, Nathan caught a brown, short, little brown. Boated quite a few fish, they said. And they're throwing their jerk baits. And there's a lot of pondweed. I don't think I've ever seen this much pondweed in the fall, but then we've had running water so much that I haven't seen still water like this in a while. I'm gonna move up past this little area. Now around our dock, the pondweed is full of bugs, full of scuds and sow bugs and worms and all kinds of stuff. So I don't think it's a negative that pondweed is here. This looks like a good spot. I like to throw around these big rocks. I'm going to get up past this big slab rock, fish this deeper water up here, and then I'm going to have to head on back. He missed it. He ought to hit it again because he did not feel my hook. That was a big fish too. Or he made a big splash. That was cool. Yeah, I never felt him when I set the hook, so he missed the fly, which happens. I'm gonna stay on him for a second. Sometimes when they come up that hard and really hit that thing or try to eat it that hard, they'll miss. There's nothing special about this spot. There's no... I'm kind of staying out a little ways from where he hit it. I'm going to throw in, next time I'm going to throw in a little bit closer to the bank. I'm giving him time to settle down. There we go. That's about where I threw the last time. I want to get up to that big rock. I'm going to throw in here one more time. A bit more to the right. I'll try moving it a little bit. Okay. Bounce it off that rock. I like this spot. I like this whole area. woodpecker. Oh, I gotta quit. Gotta kind of make a cutoff time cast spot. I don't know what. Tell you, 4 takes is about my limit. It seems like very few times I've been out, and I don't think I've had 5 this year. So 5 is a little bit more than what I asked for. Whatever. But I'll take it. I really wish I could have hooked that last one. He made the most noise as far as taking it. Nope. Threw up in that pondweed, I didn't see it. That white tree, I gotta stop right there. I'll work this little spot right here a few times, and I gotta go. Come on. That's right underneath that tree. Oh, no. I just barely caught that rock. One more time. I'm trying to roll it past it. I'm too far away. Oh well. That's a good way to end snag. Wow. It's really caught. Okay. Now I got a mess. Now we go. Actually, this is how it was. But it'll hold fish. Oh, I see. It's caught on some vegetation that's grown on the moss. There you go, on the rock. There we go. Okay. Yeah, my trolling motor's in the rocks. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you came along, and I'm glad the fish cooperated a little bit. It was fun. See you tomorrow. And thanks, Mr. Dixon, for sending me these flies.